Have you ever sat on the floor of your own house and realized that you have become a stranger to yourself? Tonight, I want to tell you about Sandra. Sandra was a woman with a gold heart, but she gave that gold to a man who only collected scrap metal. She stayed for 5 years. 5 years is not 5 days. It is 1,825 mornings of waking up and hoping for a love that wasn't there. But this is not just a story about a man who cheated. It is a story about the danger of staying too long. Because by the time Sandra finally left, she had stayed so long that she became her own worst enemy. Watch closely, because if you are currently explaining away the bad behavior of someone you love, you are watching your own future. Let's go back to the start. Sandra was the girl everyone envied. She had a good job in the city, she drove a neat car, and her laughter could light up a dark room. Then came Daniel. Daniel was charming. In the beginning, he was like the first rain after a long dry season. But slowly, the rain stopped. It became a drizzle. Then it became a drought. It is 10 p.m. Sandra is tired from work. She sends a text. Hope you ate. Thinking of you. 1 hour passes. 2 hours. Three. She holds her phone until she falls asleep. The phone hits the floor. The next morning, she wakes up and checks it immediately. Nothing. By noon, Daniel finally texts. I was busy. We'll call later. He doesn't call later. He calls 3 days later. And what did Sandra do? She didn't get angry. She told herself, a man who is working hard for our future cannot be on the phone all day. She was watering a plastic flower, wondering why it wouldn't grow. She didn't realize that silence is also an answer. Let's talk about the day the cracks became holes. Sandra wanted to be the supportive woman. She cooked a feast. She bought the best chicken, the finest rice, and spent hours in the steam of the kitchen. She wanted to surprise Daniel because he said he was stressed. She took a taxi across town. Her heart was beating with excitement. She imagined him opening the door and hugging her. But when she got there, the door only opened a few inches. Daniel's face was not happy. It was tight. It was annoyed. Sandra, what are you doing here? I told you I had things to do. She stood there with the warm food in her hands, feeling like a beggar. He let her in, but he sat on the sofa and looked at his watch every 5 minutes. He ate the food in silence. No thank you. No, this tastes amazing. That night, she drove home in tears. But do you know what she did the next morning? She called him to apologize for disturbing him. Listen to me. When you start apologizing for loving someone, you are no longer in a relationship. You are in a cage. 5 years passed like this. Sandra became an expert at making excuses. Her friend Pamela would say, Sandra, you are losing weight. You are always sad. This man is using you. But Sandra would defend him like a soldier. I do, she would say. Then came the Wednesday of fire. Sandra was at her office having tea. Her phone buzzed. A notification from Instagram. It was a picture of Daniel. He was in a garden. He was wearing a white shirt. Beside him was a woman in a beautiful lace dress. They were holding hands. On her finger was a diamond that caught the sun. The caption read, My family is finally happy. My wife-to-be. Forever starts now. The tea in Sandra's hand didn't fall. She just went numb. The world went quiet. 5 years of I'm busy. 5 years of give me time. 5 years of I'm not ready for marriage. It turns out he was ready. He just wasn't ready for her. When she finally reached him, his voice was cold. Sandra, I never promised you marriage. My parents chose her. You are a good woman. You will find someone else. He hung up, just like that. 5 years ended in a 30-second phone call. This is where the story gets truly sad. Sandra didn't just cry, she turned into stone. She told herself, love is a lie. Men are wicked. I will never let anyone close again. 2 years later, she met Josh. Josh was everything Daniel was not. He was kind. He was honest. He would call her at 8 a.m. just to say, I hope your day is soft. But Sandra didn't see Josh. She saw the ghost of Daniel. When Josh bought her a gift, she thought, what does he want from me? When Josh said, I'll be there at 5, and he was 5 minutes late, she would scream at him, expecting him to disappear for days like Daniel did. One evening, Josh sat her down. Sandra, he said softly, I am trying to love you, but I am fighting a war against a man who isn't even here anymore. I cannot win against your past. I am leaving, not because I don't love you, but because you are already gone. And he walked out. He didn't cheat. He didn't lie. He just left because the door to her heart was locked from the inside. Sandra sat in the silence. For the first time, she cried. Not for Daniel, but for herself. She realized the real tragedy. She stayed too long with the man who didn't want her, and it made her too broken to keep the man who did. Don't be a Sandra. When a person shows you they don't value you, believe them the first time. Don't wait for 5 years to see if the no will change to a yes. If you stay in the wrong house for too long, you will start to think that the leaking roof is normal. Don't let your patience become the reason you miss your true blessing.